I was born in the year 1948, 2 years before this bridge was built in the city of Breaux, Louisiana. And I've seen a lot of changes in this country over the last 60 some odd years. And I think, just like Paul Revere, I'm just trying to warn you that the enemy is out to get us. It's been a long time coming, but over the last 100 or so years, they've been changing our system of government from a point of a government of real, genuine, authentic freedom to the slave state that we find ourselves in right now. In a little while, we're going to be traveling out in the country. Just give you an idea, maybe like what Paul Revere has to do getting ready for his ride, and just give you an idea of what's involved, what was involved in getting the message out in those days. Today, we have radio and TV and video and cell phones and all sorts of modern conveniences for travel and so forth. In those days, it was a different case altogether. I hope you can get an idea of what an ordeal it was for we the people in that day and age to get a message out. Paul Revere's message to us over like around 230 or so years came down from Boston throughout the whole country. Here we are like maybe 1,500 miles from there, and 200 some odd years from that time, and his message still rings true. You got to defend yourself. We the people have to defend ourselves against the enemy. The enemy does not want us to be free, and I demand to be free. How about you? Bienvenue à Breaux. That means welcome to Breaux Bridge. By the way, Paul Revere was a Frenchman. I don't think he spoke French, but his family were French. In those days, people traveled by walking, riding buggies, riding horseback, or the waterways like this bayou right here. The rivers across this nation carried people and merchandise. So in those days, travel was arduous and slow going. In our modern era, 200 some odd years later, we're used to just jumping in a car or truck and driving however many miles. We could go 50, 100 miles, however far we need to travel in a matter of a few minutes or few hours. In their case, it often took days to travel just a few miles. On Paul Revere's midnight ride, that was a long, hard journey. And you know what he was doing? Warning the people to get ready, because the enemy was coming. Are you ready? By the way, we the people are not the enemy. We the people are not terrorists. We're just fighting for freedom. I like freedom. and expect to keep it all the days of my life. How about you? When Paul Revere made his famous midnight ride, he didn't jump in his pickup truck and get on a blacktop or concrete highway going stop at each house in the neighborhood. What he did was he caught his horse and he saddled him, picked up maybe a 35 to 50 pound saddle, hauled it to the barn and saddled his horse, got on him, and he rode that 25-mile trip, stopping each place he stopped and warned the people that the British were coming and to bear arms. By the way, didn't the Constitution tell us we have the right to bear arms? Well, anyhow, they didn't have any drones in that day and time. They didn't have to be worried about the government claiming that they were terrorists, because we the people were the government, were to be the government in that day and age. We're still supposed to be in charge of the government. Have the tables turned? Am I a terrorist because I want to be free? Because I don't want the government to force me to do things against my religious beliefs? Or because I don't want to support killing innocent babies in the womb? Stop and think about it. You want to be declared a terrorist because you don't agree with some of the government's policies? Stop and think about it. A government of the people, by the people, and for the people. Sounds like a good concept, don't you think? Government of the people, by the people, and for the people. I'm all for that. Do you know what you believe? Do you know why you believe what you believe? And do you know what those beliefs are based on? Fact or fiction?